Welcome to Subramani. Well, you're seeing a different attire, different location. I'm at a I'm at a different place. So yes, and if you see this T-shirt, it is something called which you can see here is something called Sati Hath Badana. It's an NGO based out of Pune, and they're doing a lot of good work regarding. It is about communication. They run something called listening post, where people come and talk about their grievances. When they started 6-7 years back, many of us were very skeptical, saying, is there such a problem? And we suddenly realized, especially during COVID, that there is a huge demand for listening, right? And they don't pay any money to the volunteers, and they have many volunteers, and they don't charge anybody for coming and speaking their heart out. It could be 11th standard kid speaking about pressures from home about joining IIT and suicidal tendencies and things like that. Or it could be a parent coming and talking about them being scared about the child committing suicide. What are the tendencies? I mean, suicide is just one of the things that they talk about. Very positively, they talk a lot about senior citizens, teaching them how to use phones, talking about their psychological problems, teaching them banking, right? All those things. Senior citizens could vary anywhere from say 65 to 99. Yes, I repeat, 99. A 99-year-old lady wanted to learn how to use a smartphone. Now that is very impressive, which means if you're say 60, you got another 40 years ahead of you, so there can be a lot of learning. So you could maybe learn German, you could learn Telugu, you could learn anything. So don't ignore that part of your life. But having said that, all these organizations need money just to run. You need to keep a couple of employees. You need to have some counselors who have to be paid. You need to give some incentives for people to come and do free talk shows. You at least need to give them a book or some acknowledgement. Nobody has ever come here expecting to earn money, but you still need employees. You cannot tell an employee, oh, we are an NGO, we are doing a great cause, so work for free. An employee comes for 30,000-40,000 rupees. They expect to get that 30,000-40,000 rupees on time. Therefore, we need money, and therefore I do fundraising. So I'll give you the link below. So please go and do some donation. And I mean that's the aim of doing this short video. But go and have a look. I mean, Sati Hath Badana, if you go on online, you'll be able to find that they have a blog and amazing things they do. It's only when I talk to NGOs that I realize how much of good work is being done in this country. For example, in Nerul there is one orphanage which has kept 2 cradles outside, so people come, drop a kid and just go away, and no questions asked. So you can just drop a kid and go away instead of killing the kid or throwing the kid in garbage. If somebody can do this, and there they require volunteers. So I was telling you about NGO in Nerul, the place where I stay, where they require volunteers to just come and cradle the kid. Just hold the kid in your arms, just hold it to your bosom and give the kid security, right? I mean, you notice this even among animals, right? Even animals need a lot of security. So kids who are 1 week old or 3 days old or 5 days old need some security, so they need volunteers just to hold the kid. And obviously they're using women, because you never know what kind of controversies you can get into. Then there is somebody who is doing work at the class 7, class 8, where they're teaching the children how to repair a mobile phone or a television or a laptop or things like that. They got volunteers who go around in municipal schools and teaching the kids and making the kids to be a little more useful, right? So a lot of work is happening, a lot of work is being done. And I thought I must tell you this story. One of the persons who runs a very successful children's education NGO had her mother visiting her, and her mother said, mother stayed for a few days, and mother said, do you know that your cook is stealing some stuff from your kitchen? stuff like dry fruits and things like that. So the girl didn't say anything. And after some time, the mother repeated saying, look, there is a servant of yours who's your cook, who is taking away things from you. So the girl, who is younger, obviously slightly about 34, 35 years of age, makes her mother and father sit with her and said, look, God has given me enough money, including giving away to my servant. So don't fret too much. It's okay if she takes away a little bit. My monthly grocery includes giving away a little bit to her. So the mother said, that's fine, but shouldn't she be asking for it? Why should she be stealing? She should be asking for it. So again the girl said, now this is amazing and epic. The girl said, look, the fact that she is stealing from my house is an insult to me, because I have not created an atmosphere where she is confident that she will be able to ask and get it. Right? If I had created such an atmosphere where I can ask, where she is comfortable asking me and very confident that she will get as much as she wants, she wouldn't be stealing. The fact that she is stealing is a blot on me and not on her. Right? So this is amazing. So this is one such person I know. I mean, look at the way of giving. You know that somebody is stealing and you're saying, okay, her need is greater than mine. I have enough for her to take away. So let her take away. And the fact that she's taking away without asking is because I have not created an atmosphere. What an amazing way to accept responsibility. Such people run NGOs, right? So, of course, a lot of misuse is happening in the name of NGOs, etc. But I deal with 3 such NGOs. They're just doing amazing work. One runs a tribal school, which started off when the first time I went, it had 40 students. In the last 7 years, they've added 1,300 students. They now run it for 1,300 and odd students, right? That is the number by which it has increased. They did funding through Facebook and social media, and they bought a couple of buses. So buying a bus is easy, then you have to maintain it, a driver costs money. So yeah, all that got funded by crowdfunding. So crowdfunding funded the buses, but the drivers are funded by volunteers, good people like you, who volunteer to such causes. So right now I'm not giving you too many links, but when I do a video about them, maybe I'll go there and do a video about them, and then I'll send you that link. Right now I'm happy if you can make some donations to Sati Hath Badhana. They're all doing good work, and if some of us can, if God, like what this girl said, if God has given us little more than what we need, or maybe much more than what we need, we can start giving away a little. One of the ways to declutter is to declutter your bank account also. So you can give away some money, because these people don't accept anything in kind. They are not helping the poor and needy. They are helping the reasonable middle class. The poor and needy don't. So what do? They make t-shirts, they make caps, they make hats, they make bandanas. With some branding and they make some money, not too much money, but yeah, it's not that they require too much money. Maybe they require about 10-15 lakhs. So it's not really very difficult, because the person who is running it does sessions outside, and when she talks, she gets paid, and that money comes into this. So there is some kind of funding. Other than that, there's a lot of fundraising, a lot of good people like you who make donations, which are enough for them to run. Of course, when they need to grow and they need to recruit people, because the biggest contribution by in NGOs in terms of the P&L are the volunteers, because volunteers are not paid a salary. So the fact that you don't pay volunteers is a big contribution. A volunteer today typically can earn maybe 1 crore of rupees as salary if they are employed, and when they come and give their time free, maybe if they give 1 month, just look at it, it's worth about 8-10 lakhs. It's impossible to pay them anything at all, not even conveyance, nothing. So, and not do they expect, if a person is earning well, they don't expect a subsidy, right? So that reminds me, I was called to teach in do a 1-day session, not even a 1-day session, maybe a 3-hour session for the kids in a top management institute, and they said we don't pay, and I said if you don't pay I don't work. It's simple, right? If you want something good, you better learn to pay for it. So they said no, we don't pay, and then they came back and said, oh, we will pay your airfare, we'll pay your taxi fare. I said that's fine, but you still need to pay for my time. And it's not that I need the money. I work with 3 NGOs, so you choose one NGO and pay them whatever you want. And since you're making a payment to an NGO, there is no need for, I will not be bargaining. Whatever amount you say X and you pay. So they paid some 25,000 rupees, which was not bad, which was I'm not even getting into fair unfair, but that was a reasonable amount. When I started the class, I said, what about your placement? And they all said, oh, we're going to be placed in the best of classes, and 35 lakhs would be the starting salary, etc. And I said, you don't really need a subsidy, right? You guys don't need me to do the lecture free. There is no reason why, there were so many people, maybe about 70 people in the class. I said, even if you paid 500 rupees per head, it would be 35,000 rupees for charity, and that can be done. And then sheepishly they admitted, but I do not know how much money really went to charity to that. But I know one big check of 25,000 went. Otherwise that wouldn't have come, right? So some of us have to pull money out of people who have the ability to pay but lack the willingness to pay, or something is, something is, I'm not saying something is wrong, but the willingness to pay sometimes have to be, people have to be cajoled and to pay. I have a friend, and it's a very interesting way of giving. He walks into a Udupi restaurant. He'll ask them, "Kitne log kaam kar rahe hain? How many people are working here?" And you say, "Okay, about 14 people." He'll say, "Ask them to come one by one," and you would give 100 rupee note to each person. And then you would have maybe a chai or a vada sambar or something, and his bill would come to 200 bucks, and we would walk out. And so which means the donation here was 7 times the bill. And there is no reason for him to give, but he does it. And his logic is, look, none of these guys were expecting this, right? So in the morning, when they got up, they would have had their financial problems. And then they would go and talk about somebody saying, he had come and he gave such money, and this money is very useful for me. For somebody, someday that money is going to be very useful. For me, it doesn't really matter whether I spend that 1400 or don't. My children don't need my money. He's about 65, 66 years of age. And he said, so I said, now what? He said, no, I have to now increase the amount from 100 to 200. I've been giving 100 for too long, so now I think I should make it 200. So that's it. That's his way of giving. Not that he does any organized, it's not as though he does not do any organized charity. That he does, but this is just fun charity for him. So there are so many ways of giving. Like this girl was giving through her cook stealing, right? That's her way of giving. She knew what was happening. So I tell people, if your child steals from your house, your son or daughter take money from your purse, is that something to feel bad about? I don't think so. It just means you don't understand the pressures under which they are, why they need a 8,000 rupee shoes or a 8,000 rupee ticket to attend a concert. You don't understand. That's your communication problem. And your kid has just taken the money a little in advance. Anyway, आपका पैसा उसी को मिलने वाला है. So don't fret. Have fun.